I do want to get into this box of comics. I literally just went to the post office today.
Do it.
5 packages.
Grab them. I'm assuming you brought some gold.
I did. I'll show you just a couple here, but this one's a cool one. One of my favorites of this delivery.
All right, the Guru's sharing some of his first purchases of the new year in 2020. I'm excited to see what you got. Hit that like button, comic fan. Maybe I'll get him to bring some more Golden Age goodies here. Let me take a look at what you got. Samson number 6, graded at 7.0. Fox Features Syndicate. Yes, from 1940 freaking 1. Damn, that's old. Samson on the cover. Is that related? I'm actually not familiar with this. Is this related to the biblical Samson?
Yeah, it is. That's actually a relative of Samson, also named Samson. Same abilities. He's got super strength. His weakness is if you cut his hair, he loses his abilities and power.
Makes sense.
But due to accelerated hair growth, he gets his powers back.
Accelerated hair growth. Part of his superpower is he can grow his hair fast?
Absolutely.
How does he do that? I have to look into this.
Know.
Maybe he just does like push hard on his head.
Does he have a good shampoo, conditioner?
Yeah, he's like got Rogaine always on him.
Always.
To rub his head. It's like, just like, hold on. I got to grow my hair faster. No, but this is cool. This is a cover with Samson who's fighting these demons who are like a cross between a humanoid and an octopus.
Yeah, they're interesting. I'll tell you that much. And obviously I can't say obviously, but if you look in the background, you got 2 Nazi tanks.
What is going on here? It's like fantasy, and then they're like, we got to make sure there's a swastika on this cover.
Yeah, pretty much. This has
Right?
got to be somehow war related. And that is actually the highest graded copy, so pretty excited to get that.
The highest?
Yeah.
7.0 is the highest.
Yeah, there's only 7 graded copies, and that is the highest at 7.0.
Oh, very cool, dude. And you may get lucky. Like kind of looks a little dirty back here. But this is a cool book, man. You may get lucky with a grade bump. The highest graded copy. Amazing. And you mentioned in your Overstreet analysis of 2019 that you thought Fox Features Syndicate was a good bet. Clearly, you're putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I truly think that Fox is going to have a strong year. It was already been gaining interest, and they have a lot of great titles and genres that they all hit on. So check them out. And Victor Fox, the owner, you got to Google him, man. He's an interesting character.
I'll have to get into that another time. What else did you bring us?
All right, I'm going to show you one other book. Okay. And it's going to help explain maybe some things you've seen on other labels. Okay.
I'm excited to see. I haven't seen this comic, fam. This is new to me. All right, what do we got?
We got us some war book.
Ooh. All right, comic fam. I'm holding a Combat Casey issue number 8. This is Atlas Comics from spring 1953. OG. And I think I see why you brought this and probably why you got it. But first off, we got this macho character who's breaking Batman's back pretty much on the cover.
Yeah, you kind of got this Razor Ramon looking guy with this machismo and this hairy chest, and he's pulling like the razor's edge. And it's a very powerful image. It's obviously a war book.
Yeah, he's like defeating the enemy here. The infantry's red-bearded riot. A bunch of individuals who's attacking him, and he's just taking them out one by one.
It's a striking image on that book, and that's one of the reasons I really wanted to get a copy like this. It's also the highest graded at 6.5, and it's white pages.
It's another highest graded?
Yeah, it's another highest graded.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you. But the other thing is it was used in the Parade of Pleasure.
Oh, Parade of Pleasure. Dude, I don't think we've ever talked about the Parade of Pleasure on camera.
No, we've talked about Seduction of the Innocent that was written by Frederick Wortham. And if you guys aren't familiar, it's a book that came out in, I believe, 1954, around the mid-50s there. And it caused a big roar upon the comic community the nation, to where comics were pretty much, perverting children's minds.
Yeah, that's the claim. And it's the one book that's used as like the thing that is pointed to that near destroyed the industry. There's only a couple other books that came out at that time that had similar impact. And we're talking about Pop. This other book that actually went overseas had similar impact.
And that's what you'll see. When you see the letters POP, and you'll see that in the price guide, or you'll just see it used around occasionally, it stands for the name of this other book, okay? Parade of Pleasure. And Seduction of the Innocent spoke about comics, perverting the culture. This speaks about more than just comics. It just speaks about more pop culture of the 50s. So the magazines, the music, TV, comics, and it really just goes into depth of how it's just changing our thoughts. And like you mentioned, it was published also overseas in the UK and in the US.
We're talking about the British-born New Yorker, Geoffrey Wagner. He created this book and was really just venting out all of his concerns about American pop culture, talking really poorly about art, magazines, detective books, calling them smut. Overall, indicating that this was going to be the downfall of culture in general and the communities that he cared about. He compared comic books to marijuana for nurseries. That's how he viewed comics, and that's how he was like carrying this narrative that Frederick Wertham had in the States across the seas.
I need to find this Parade of Pleasure book because I have to go to page 94 because that's what the internet told me, that I will find the information of why Combat Casey number 8 is in there. And one of these days I'll find this book. It's not going to be easy. They're really hard to find, and they're quite pricey.
Dude, I looked up prices. It's like over $800 for a US version.
Yeah, they're expensive. And like I mentioned, there's also a UK version, and it seems maybe a little less expensive. I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting as I really hit the ground and try to find one. But when I do, I'll know where to look for Combat Casey, page 94. But I don't know. I hope I just find one soon. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to pony up $100 for just a historical piece of comic like history, especially when it's been kind of negative.
I know these are both very negative books that are collectible. I mean, both Frederick Wertham's hit book and this UK analysis of Americana are both coveted collector's items by comic book collectors.
Fine. You talked me into it. I'm buying one.
Let's do it. I'm also excited to see what other types of books that we're able to find maybe on the hunt or share with the community. Let us know in the comment section below if you own any pieces of history that made it into one of these works of literature that have just become such an integral part of the comic book history.